have been, just like everyone probably listening to the news a lot, and have recently heard a number of folks from the new administration talking about Islam as a political movement and not as a religion. And then some analysis of that, comparing it to McCarthyism and communism, meaning how they might approach a tactic they might pivot to. I'm just curious, I'm not a legal scholar, but I'm just curious from a legal perspective if there's any standing or ability to make that pivot.
Well, I mean, that is the claim that Islam is a political movement and not a religion is of a piece with and comes out of the same conspiracy-minded right-wing Breitbart world as the Islam is incompatible with the Constitution. That is, and the very, there's a group called the Center for Security Policy, headed by a guy named Frank Gaffney, who's one of these Islamophobic crusaders. And they issued this Sharia Danger to America report. It's hundreds of pages, and the gist of which is to show that Islam is incompatible with the Constitution, with American values. And one of the things that they say is just this point, that is that we shouldn't consider Islam a religion. It really is a political movement, and so it's not entitled to any protection under the Establishment Clause or the Free Exercise Clause. And this piece, that Islam is really a political movement. You hear this repeated again among the Breitbart Islamophobic world, which includes, Steve Bannon, includes Stephen Miller, who was on the talk shows this weekend, who comes out of this world. I mean, and you hear, Trump himself over the campaign said, Islam hates us. I mean, all of this kind of language about how Islam is anti-American is of a piece with that. And they make a very explicit connection between the reason to exclude Islam now and the reason why it was right during the McCarthy era to exclude communists. That if they draw, there's like 10 pages in this Center for Security Policy report about why the two are similar, because because they think there's this global, Islam has a plan of domination to infiltrate the U.S. and supplant the Constitution with Sharia, just like the communists were going to come over here and destroy American values and take over. That is, they're very explicit about disconnect.